The next thing we're going to get into here in your book, because we beat Caster to death, is going to be on page 27. Real important part here. If you look at this photograph here, this drawing, you'll see this Y1 and Y2 measurement. That's the kingpin on the self-steer axle itself. In other words, on the bottom, right under here, okay?
Okay.
With the pogo stick at the front and everything aired up and at right height, okay? No load on it. You need to make sure that the beam is square in the suspension. In other words, Y1 and Y2 are equal within 1/8 of an inch. So it's basically what you're doing is like a primary at that time. You want to line up that beam square in the suspension, okay? And that's done via the eccentrics. That's how you line up a primary beam, and that's how you're going to line up an axle self-steer beam. That's beam alignment only, okay? The next thing you're going to do from that is make sure that your first primary is square to your pole pin by 1/8 inch one way or the other, okay? This is the maximum allowable. Once you know that your beam is square and your axle, your first primary is square to the pole pin, you're now going to want to do your wheel end adjustment. That wheel end adjustment is done on the torque press assembly, okay? So just to reiterate this a little bit, your beam is squared up by the eccentrics.
Yeah.
All right, that primary is done by the eccentrics. You square it up. Now what you want to do, knowing that your first primary axle is squared to your pole pin, which is the X1 and X2 measurement,
yeah.
Okay, you want to square up your steer axle to your first primary, which is Z1, Z2, and that is done on that torque press assembly underneath there. So if we flip the page,
Okay, the finger adjustment.
you got her. That's wheel end. Beam alignment, eccentrics, wheel end, fingers. Okay? So if you look here on this torque press assembly on page 28, you're going to see that little adjusting bolt on the inside of what you call the fingers, lever arms. Okay? There's one here and one there. What you're going to do there is there's a jam nut. You're going to loosen jam nuts, and based on which way you want those wheels to go to get that equal Z1 and Z2 measurement, is you're going to wind one in and one out the same amount. What that does is allows the fingers to push harder one way or push harder the other way, depending on which way you need to go. Okay, so for instance, if I had 100 inches on this side and a 101 on the other side, I'm closer this way by 1 inch. I need to come back half an inch, right? I want to come back half of that. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to tell that finger on the right side to push harder on the plate and the one on the left side to relax. So to do that, I need to go like this with those bolts. And I want to maintain 4 points of contact when I do that. And what I mean by that 4 points of contact is these fingers or lever arms are pushing up against that plate, right?
Yeah.
Which is on the tie rod. Okay? You see that?
Right down there, okay.
Right down at the bottom. See where the fingers are pushing on the plate here? And these adjusting bolts here, 4 points of contact. It's got to touch here and here, and there and there. When you've got your equal measurement between your steer and your first primary, and you're happy and you've got that 4 points of contact, lock the jam nuts in, that's it.